Healing loves momentum. Physical therapy works best when it feels like teamwork, not supervision. Your therapist isn't there to make you do exercises. They're there to coach, adjust, to help you learn what your body can do. Are you ready to get back to what you love after knee replacement? The Total Knee Success Podcast is your trusted guide with practical tips, evidence-based strategies, and no fluff. It's not personal medical advice, just solid education to help you manage pain, regain mobility, and get back to living the life you love. Let's dive in. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Total Knee Success Podcast. I'm Michelle, and today we're tackling a question that could completely change how you heal after surgery. Are you skipping one of the most important steps after knee replacement? You guessed it right. We're talking about physical therapy, the structured, guided movement that rebuilds the connection between your knee, muscles, and your brain. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why early motion matters, how working with your therapy team shapes progress, what new research tells us about walking and functional training, and how modern tools like neuromuscular electrical stimulation and telehealth fit in. We'll also touch on prehab, getting ready before surgery, and preview next week's topic, building confidence once formal therapy ends. Let's dive into this topic. It's easy to think maybe I should rest a few weeks and let things settle first. But science says the opposite. The American Physical Therapy Association's clinical practice guideline recommends beginning therapy within 24 to 72 hours of surgery to protect motion and limit stiffness. And in 2023, Capin and colleagues tracked more than 12,000 patients and found that early guideline-based rehab produced better function with fewer total visits. Early motion doesn't mean heavy workouts. It's gentle ankle pumps, quad sets, and assisted bends, tiny signals telling your body you're safe to move again. Those first efforts prevent tightness later and set the tone for every gain that follows. If you're struggling with swelling or pain, remember even small, consistent movement is progress. Healing loves momentum. Physical therapy works best when it feels like teamwork, not supervision. Your therapist isn't there to make you do exercises. They're there to coach, adjust, to help you learn what your body can do. A 2023 Delphi consensus, led by Stevens-Lapsley and Graber, found that most people thrive with about 8 to 12 outpatient visits in the first couple of months, enough for collaboration and feedback while keeping you independent. In 2025, a Delaware Peak trial tested telehealth PT for adults with knee OA. That's osteoarthritis. Participants who met virtually gained pain relief, strength, and confidence similar to those treated in person. That's encouraging, but remember, telehealth for osteoarthritis management isn't exactly the same as post-surgical rehab. For people who've had knee replacement, early studies using remote monitoring or hybrid telehealth models, like the 2025 Raptor feasibility study, show that these approaches can expand access in rural areas. But the research is still developing. More high-quality trials will help clarify when virtual programs can safely replace in-person sessions, and if they even can at all. Whether your visits are in-person or partially virtual, you and your therapist are partners working toward your best outcome. Each bit of effort you put in brings you closer to your goal. The collaboration, feedback, and the consistency all build momentum, and that momentum delivers results. Once pain fades, walking might feel automatic, but surgery can subtly change timing and stride. Many people develop a small limp or shortened step without even realizing it. Gait training helps you retrain that rhythm. Your therapist watches how your body shifts weight, coaching smooth, efficient motion that protects not only your new knee, but also your hips and back. A 2023 meta-analysis by Nunez and colleagues showed that improving movement control strongly correlates with less pain and better function. And the APTA guideline reinforces gait retraining as a key part of rehab. Every steady, balanced step tells your brain, I trust this leg again. Therapy isn't just about strength, but building strength is one of its most powerful foundations. Strong muscles protect your joint, absorb shock, and give you the confidence to move freely. And therapy goes beyond muscle. It's about turning that strength into independence. That means practicing real-world tasks, standing from low chairs, stepping up curbs, or moving safely around your home or community spaces. A 2025 systematic review by Gemma Orange and colleagues found that people who practiced task-specific training continued improving months longer than those who only did isolated strengthening. They felt steadier and more confident doing daily activities. And when therapy starts before surgery, the benefits are even greater. A 2022 study by Granicher and colleagues showed that prehabilitation, strength and motion work before the operation, sets patients up for faster, longer-lasting success. We'll be talking more about prehab in a future episode, and you can find resources about getting started at totalkneesuccess.com. Physical therapy keeps evolving. One important adjunct is neuromuscular electrical stimulation, or NMES. Decades ago, some clinicians hesitated to use NMES because early studies raised questions about overuse or irritation. But modern research tells a very different story. The 2020 APTA Clinical Practice Guideline specifically recommends NMES in the early postoperative phase to improve quadriceps strength, motor control, and functional performance, particularly when voluntary contraction is limited. A 2024 review by Arhos and colleagues confirmed that current protocols are safe and effective, and randomized trials demonstrated that NMES, when combined with active exercise, leads to greater gains in early strength and walking ability than exercise alone. NMES isn't optional according to our best practice guidelines. It's a recommended tool for optimizing recovery, and for many patients, it's a valuable confidence booster in those first few challenging weeks. Most people complete formal outpatient therapy in about 6 to 12 weeks. The 2023 Care Guideline analysis by Capin and Minick found that roughly 10 visits produced lasting gains in walking and independence. That said, not everyone's timeline is the same. You might need longer if you had stiffness before surgery, a revision procedure, diabetes, or slower healing. On the other hand, some people who are very active before surgery regain independence a little sooner. The key isn't the number of visits, it's reaching your goals safely and confidently. Long-term studies show that those who continue moderate activity, walking, swimming, cycling, maintain flexibility and confidence for years. Those who stop often lose ground. Think of your therapy as your launch pad. It helps you lift off. Your continued activity keeps you flying steadily. If you're in that middle stage where your progress feels slow, remember, healing isn't linear. Every degree of motion and every smoother step counts. So, are you skipping one of the most important steps after knee replacement? Physical therapy isn't punishment or routine. It's your personalized path back to motion, strength, and trust in your body. Start early to protect motion. Work with your therapy team to guide progress. Train for real life so your strength shows up where it matters. And keeping going after formal sessions end. Every bit of effort you make today shapes what you'll be able to do tomorrow. You're not just recovering, you're rebuilding a stronger version of yourself. And you might wind up with some lasting friendships from your therapist and your therapy team. Resources are available at totalkneesuccess.com. Next time, in episode 20, we'll talk about building confidence once formal therapy ends. Because knowing your knee is strong is one thing, but believing in it changes everything. Until then, keep moving, keep learning, and celebrate each milestone along the way. This podcast is for educational purposes only. Discover more at totalkneesuccess.com, and be sure to subscribe and share, because every step forward takes you closer to living the life you love.